Every great musician has one defining moment. A performance that doesn't just impress people, it changes everything. For Anika Nilles, that moment didn't happen in a packed stadium with a famous band. It didn't happen after winning a major award, and it didn't happen because of a viral headline. Instead, it began in a much simpler place: a camera, a drum kit, and an original performance shared online. At the time, Anika was already a skilled drummer, but outside the music world, very few people knew her name. She had studied drums in Germany and spent years developing a style that blended rock, jazz, funk, and fusion. Rather than copying famous drummers, she focused on creating original grooves and compositions that sounded uniquely her own. Then came a series of professionally recorded performance videos featuring her original music. One of the biggest breakthroughs was Wild Boy, a performance that quickly caught the attention of drummers around the world. Instead of relying on flashy speed alone, Anika demonstrated something much harder to master: complex rhythms that felt natural, musical, and deeply expressive. Experienced drummers immediately noticed her remarkable independence between all four limbs, her relaxed technique, and her ability to make unusual time signatures feel effortless. Before long, reaction videos, drum forums, and music publications were all asking the same question: who is Anika Nilles? That single performance opened doors to international drum festivals, educational clinics, magazine features, signature equipment partnerships, and collaborations with world-class musicians. It transformed her from a talented local drummer into one of the most respected names in modern drumming. But here's what makes the story even more fascinating. When drummers first watched Wild Boy, many expected another flashy solo filled with impossible speeds and endless fills. That's not what they got. Instead, Anika Nilles delivered a performance that felt surprisingly musical. Every groove had a purpose. Every fill flowed naturally into the next phrase. Even the most complex rhythms sounded relaxed instead of forced. That was the first thing that set her apart. Many technically gifted drummers can play difficult patterns. Far fewer can make those patterns feel effortless. Anika's playing had an unusual balance of precision and groove, allowing listeners to enjoy the music even if they couldn't understand the rhythmic complexity behind it. Another reason the performance stood out was that it featured original music. Rather than covering a famous song, Anika introduced audiences to her own compositions. That choice demonstrated confidence and creativity. She wasn't simply proving she could play someone else's ideas, she was inviting the world into her own musical style. Professional drummers quickly noticed details that casual listeners might miss. Her smooth hand technique, creative ghost notes, dynamic control, and remarkable four-way independence showed years of disciplined practice. Yet none of it felt like a technical exercise. The music always came first. The response was immediate. Her videos spread rapidly through the global drumming community. Drum educators praised her musicality. Magazines featured interviews about her unique approach, and invitations to perform at major international drum festivals and clinics soon followed. What had started as an online performance was becoming an international career. But success brought a new challenge. Once the world knew her name, expectations changed overnight. For many musicians, one viral performance is the peak of their career. The attention comes quickly, the videos spread across the internet, and then people move on. Anika Nilles refused to let that happen. Instead of chasing another viral hit, she focused on becoming a complete artist. She continued writing original music, recording albums, and performing with her own band. Every new project showed that her success wasn't built on a single performance. It was built on years of musicianship. As her reputation grew, so did the opportunities. She became a featured performer at major international drum festivals, where audiences could finally see in person what millions had watched online. Live, there was no editing, no special effects, and no second takes. Night after night, she demonstrated the same control, creativity, and musicality that had first caught the world's attention. Anika also became a respected educator. Through masterclasses and drum clinics, she broke down complex rhythms into ideas that students could actually understand and apply. Rather than encouraging drummers to simply copy her, she challenged them to develop their own musical voice, a philosophy that has earned her admiration from players of every skill level. Another milestone came when legendary guitarist Jeff Beck invited her to join his touring band in 2022. Performing with one of rock's most innovative musicians placed her on some of the world's biggest stages and introduced her to an even wider audience. It was a powerful reminder that the breakthrough performance years earlier had opened doors. But her consistency and artistry were what kept them open. By now, Anika was no longer known as the drummer from that viral video. She had become one of the most respected modern drummers in the world. But there was one opportunity that would bring her name into an entirely different conversation, one connected to one of the greatest drummers in rock history. As Anika Nilles' reputation continued to grow, something interesting happened. People stopped talking only about her technique. They started comparing her to some of the greatest drummers of all time. One name came up again and again: Neil Peart. The comparison was understandable. Both are known for tackling complex rhythms with remarkable precision. Both value musicality over showing off. And both have inspired countless drummers to think beyond basic rock beats. But the similarities end there. Neil Peart built his legendary career over more than 40 years with Rush, creating drum parts that became an essential part of the band's songwriting. His performances on songs like Tom Sawyer, YYZ, and Subdivisions helped redefine progressive rock. Anika's path was very different. She earned recognition in the digital era by writing original music, sharing performance videos, teaching at international drum clinics, and collaborating with a wide range of musicians. Instead of following the traditional route of becoming famous through one major band, she built a global audience through her own creativity and consistent work. That distinction matters. Many fans on social media have imagined what it would be like to hear Anika perform Rush's music, or have debated how her style compares with Neil Peart's. Those conversations reflect the enormous respect she has earned within the drumming community. However, they remain fan discussions rather than established facts about Rush's plans or lineup. In interviews over the years, Anika herself has consistently emphasized making music honestly, instead of trying to imitate someone else. That philosophy has become one of the defining characteristics of her career. Perhaps that's why so many respected musicians admire her. She's never tried to become the next anyone. She's worked to become the first Anika Nilles, and that mindset leads to the biggest lesson of her breakthrough performance. Looking back, it's clear that Anika Nilles' breakthrough performance changed far more than her career. It changed how many people think about modern drumming. Before her rise, online drum videos often focused on speed, endurance, or playing note-for-note covers of famous songs. Those performances could be impressive, but they didn't always reveal the musician's own creative identity. Anika took a different path. She showed that original music could attract just as much attention as a cover, if it was written and performed with enough creativity. Her grooves were fresh, her phrasing was unexpected, and her playing always served the music first. That approach encouraged many young drummers to spend less time copying others and more time developing their own ideas. The impact spread beyond social media. Her clinics and masterclasses have inspired students around the world to think differently about rhythm. Instead of treating odd time signatures as technical obstacles, she demonstrates how they can feel natural and musical. Instead of chasing flashy fills, she emphasizes touch, dynamics, timing, and listening, qualities that define great musicians regardless of genre. There's an interesting connection to Neil Peart here. Although their musical styles are different, both built their reputations on originality. Neil constantly expanded the possibilities of progressive rock through thoughtful composition and relentless self-improvement. Anika has done something similar for a new generation, blending modern influences into a voice that is unmistakably her own. That's why the performance that launched her career still matters today. It wasn't memorable because it was the fastest or the loudest.